GolfNewsRI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. Joe Calabro alongside Rich Cappalli, who's made it for his second consecutive show. Rich, how you doing today, buddy boy? Happy Thursday.
Yeah, you too. Wishing it wasn't raining. Could have went out and played a little bit of golf, but other than that, everything's good. I'm not at work, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I guess I haven't been outside yet today, but I guess it's relatively warm out, so that's always a positive. And it doesn't look like it's raining here, but it's hard to tell. Anyway, so a few things going on. Obviously, the big news of the week or of the day is the LIV Golf announces a deal with the CW network. So we'll get into that. Well, I got a few wrap-up thoughts on Davis Chatfield's Korn Ferry Tour debut, and we'll get into some PGA Tour stuff as well. But first, we should tell you that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Links Drinks. Check out Links Drinks at liquor stores and country clubs near you. They're in about 20 clubs, and they have 3 flavors: the back nine, the front nine, and the regular transfusion. So check out Links Drinks. And if you're going to the PGA merchandise show next week, Links Drinks will be down there. So go see our friends at Links Drinks. They've been active on social media, putting their booth number and everything else that they're doing. So be sure to go see them if you're down in Florida next week at the big PGA merch show. So thanks to them for their support. And also, you are listening to this Golf News Podcast on the GolfNewsRI Podcast Network. We're one of 2 podcasts on the network right now, along with Expand Your Brand, which debuted on Wednesday. And of course, hello to everybody listening to us on Apple and Spotify. So pretty cool extra feature that we're continuing to add and build out the network and other cool things as well. So that's all the business stuff we have to take care of. Business in golf, LIV on the CW. They announced it officially today. It's been reported over the last few days, and they just became official today. Rich, your thoughts on them getting a TV deal? It sounds like it's just going to be a weekend thing. It sounds like the Friday round, as you know, LIV is only 3 rounds, is going to be broadcast on the app, on the CW app, and that's the only place you're going to be able to find it. It doesn't sound like they're doing their YouTube thing anymore. It doesn't sound like they're doing their website thing. But that's at least my understanding of their press release. I could be certainly wrong. But a big day for LIV for sure. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, very surprising network to that ponied up their airtime to take LIV. Was not expecting that at all. I was expecting maybe FS1 or something like that, or but yeah, at least now it's going to be it's going to be actually on cable on the weekends. People are going to scroll by it and probably going to hit it now instead of going on their phones to physically watch it when they're in between commercials of the hockey game, or whatever it may be, football, whatever. They're going to go to their guide and they're actually going to see it and they're going to scroll by it. So it's a step in the right direction. They finally have a TV deal. That YouTube thing was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, hopefully it makes the numbers go up.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many people go to the CW to watch it. They do have their same broadcast team with Arlo White, David Faraday, and Trey Mullins, and I can't think of the guy from Golf Channel whose name escapes me. So they have their same broadcast team. It seems like they're kind of paying for. They didn't say this, but it feels like they're kind of paying for airtime because they're handling all the production and construction quality of the broadcast.
Yeah, because wasn't it said they were going to buy time from Fox or something?
Right,
like
that was originally
FS1.
reported. Yeah, FS1. That was originally reported months ago by I think Eamon had it, and then that quickly disappeared. That's why I was kind of hesitant with this one because I was like, well, it's not that big of a deal for us to report on LIV. It doesn't really matter. So I'll just wait until it becomes official, which obviously did today. So it is interesting. There are interesting parts to it. It does sound like or feel like LIV is kind of, renting airtime, if you will. What's going to be interesting is if when LIV is overseas and in some foreign country, and the live broadcast is at like 2 a.m. here local time or something like it was at times last year. What's going to happen with TV? Is TV? I mean, is there a replay? Is there a replay system that they're going to have that the CW is going to replay it, or are they going to take it at 2
Are they going to
a.m.?
put it? Yeah, if it's like 2 a.m., are they going to put it at their normal time slot when it's in America, or I don't know.
So that'll be interesting to see.
So what? It got expanded to 12 events, right? This year,
14.
14.
But they haven't even announced their full schedule yet, as far as I know. It doesn't
It's just
feel
like the first half, right?
It doesn't feel like they're coming back to Boston, which is fine. It doesn't feel that way. I mean, who knows? It doesn't feel like they're coming back to Boston. Hasn't been announced yet. They haven't announced their full schedule yet or their full roster for any new names. I know Mito Pereira supposedly is going there, and perhaps some other guys. I don't know. So it is interesting. It was an interesting announcement today. Interesting press release today.
It's crazy because like it seems like it's here to stay, but it's like in what entity? You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's going anywhere, but like the TV deal is a step in the right direction, but like
even that has questions about it.
But what else is there though? Like obviously the big hook is the money. That's what the players go there for the guaranteed cash, and then the team aspect. You get the team, all that crap. I don't even know. Like, I don't even think anybody else would probably jump of worth noting. You know what I mean? Like Mito Pereira, whatever he won once. He choked. In the PGA. Like I think that's it for like the big players.
I mean,
like,
who else? I mean, other than the obvious, who else will get your attention that jumps? Maybe Ricky Fowler. He was somebody that I think would attract attention. Maybe if he were to jump, but it feels like he's kind of on the upswing. Hopefully, I mean, I love Ricky Fowler, as you know.
His swing. Did you see his swing?
Yeah, he changed it around.
His swing's insane.
Yeah,
he went back to Butch, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe that's correct. I mean, maybe he would get some attention, but I mean, I'm personally, both of us are big Ricky Fowler fans. I like him personally, but
I mean, the staples who you know are not going are Tiger, Rory, JT, Jordan, Finau, who else? Morikawa, Matsuyama, like all those guys. That's the PGA's like solid base right now. I mean, yeah, I don't even know. Like, I'd have to pull up a list of the PGA Tour roster and actually physically look to see who would be like a wow out of that, like under that group that I just named.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody else. Everybody else worth noting left. DJ, Brooks, Phil, Poulter to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Nothing. I don't think they really don't have. They don't really have a wow factor anymore. Like it was last year. It's like, oh crap, so and so is going to LIV. So I don't know.
Right. I think the breaking news portion of people going to LIV is kind of over, which is good because it's not that exciting. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. I know their season starts in February. It'll be interesting to see what year 2 looks like. It'll be interesting to see if they can build up their team brands or if the teams are even sponsored now, because that was their business model, that they're going to have team sponsors kind of thing like you'd see in other sports. And if they can do that, then they might have something, but they have to build up the brands of the teams. Maybe they keep the same team.
I think they need to do like have their flagship, have like a flagship 10 events, right?
Mm-hmm.
10? Yeah. If you want to go with 14 events, have a flagship 10 events, and then you have 4 events that are different formats. So it brings an actual team aspect into it, where this event, one day is going to be alternate, 118 hole is going to be 8 alternate shot. The Saturday, oh my God, I can't talk right now. Saturday is like a scramble, like a team scramble, or like just
Right.
like what Liv promised us for the team. That's what it should be. Like not this, oh, we follow the singles leaderboard and then we make up points where they finish. That's not team. Actual team is alternate shot, one club, or scramble, all that stuff.
Or
That's actual
even just
team
straight
stuff.
four balls, even as just straight,
Or just four ball straight up. Yeah. I mean, this BS of just, giving them points, giving them team points to where they finish in singles is just, it's stupid. It's like, it's not what we were promised,
right? It's kind of eliminates the team aspect of it.
Are you kidding me? I'd watch the crap out of an alternate shot round. That would be so awesome. Mic all the guys up, make it a big money event. Mic all the guys up. Listen to how they oh no, you take the drive because you cut the ball better, or you take the, I want you to putt because for whatever reason. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's why we love the Ryder Cup, right? That's why the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup does well, because we watch these guys play in these different different formats that we don't usually see, or that we play out in our own tournaments during at times. So I think that would definitely be interesting. I think they definitely have to work on that, and that will also help brand the teams as well and make it
exactly
more household name.
Who's the better team? Who's the better alternate shot team, or who has the best scramble team, or something like that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it would be absolutely hysterical and awesome to see two professional golfers do a 2-man scramble and destroy the course. like absolutely light the course up with like a couple eagles and like 16 birdies. Like how awesome would that be?
35 under par for the win.
Like that would be awesome. Like see like DJ and Pat Perez, or DJ and Patrick Reed, or something like that. Just absolutely terrorize the course,
Yeah. It will be interesting.
That's the kind of shit that we were promised. Like it was going to be weird, it was going to be extravagant, it was going to be off the wall, type of thinking, and we're not getting anything.
But then if they did just straight team events, they would have no chance of getting world ranking points, which they're not getting world ranking points anyway. So what's the difference?
And I said have 10 flagship events.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And then four like, I'm not going to say exhibition. Well, yeah, like 4 exhibitions with those formats, but make the money stakes high,
Yeah. So that was the big news of the day. LIV signs a TV deal with the CW that is reportedly multi-years. If you read the actual press release, there's not a ton. There's no money figures in it, no actual years in it. It just says multi-year deal. So it was a little weird. It was a sketchy press release to say.
What do you think the sticker price was?
What the money is? I think LIV is paying them.
That's what I mean. What do you think? What do you think they paid him?
It's gotta be in the millions. It's gotta be in the
over 100.
Yeah,
like
I think they're paying the CW a good portion of money to broadcast their thing over a number of years, not like per year. Because they're bringing in their own production crew, they're bringing in their own talent. The CW is like literally just, it feels like the CW is just literally flipping the button and putting
it putting it on their thing. So it's like YouTube, but CW.
Like when on our podcast when I press the go live button.
Yeah,
that's what the CW
it's like we're gonna send this to CW.
The CW sitting there pressing the go live button. That feels like what they're doing. Now the question I have is, and it wasn't clear in the press release. Again, the press release was kind of strange, but I'll stop complaining. Was that it doesn't commercials? Because one thing that was great about LIV was there's no commercials. So now I wonder if they're on TV. What is the commercial time?
Yeah, so
and they didn't say that they didn't say that in the press release. They didn't say commercials and sponsors and everything, because I don't know that they have any.
Yeah, so that
would be interesting too.
I'd love to see the numbers once the second season ends of watch time, like consecutive watch time, as opposed to YouTube. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely be interesting to see how if consumers stayed on the channel, or they got bored with the commercials and just clicked off. That's pretty interesting.
Was there was somebody, some crazy person on Twitter that was tracking the YouTube numbers for LIV, and they kind of like steadily decreased as the tournaments went on. Like the watch time hours and how many people stayed
Yeah,
stayed
yeah,
on
yeah,
it. Like,
yeah.
the guy did an amazing job. He like a whole chart. It was unbelievable, really, to be honest with you. But there was so many numbers, you get like a popsicle headache. So I didn't do anything with it because people would be all confused. I was
Yeah,
confused
yeah.
myself. But I generally understand kind of the stuff, how it works. But it was interesting. It was fascinating to look. So yeah, now we're gonna have a real comparison between the LIV's numbers and the PGA Tour's numbers. And in theory, they're gonna go head to head with a PGA Tour event, both on
Yeah.
TV.
Yep.
In theory, at least theoretically. So now you'll really see, you'll have a real sense of how the numbers stack up. Now, obviously, the PGA Tour is still going to win on the Players Championship and Bay Hill, and obviously they're big tournaments. They'll still win probably, but the
Yeah.
smaller ones, like this week, like the American Express, LIV would probably beat
Yeah,
them
nobody cares about these tournaments.
so
Like, you got the four majors, you got the Arnold
players,
Palmer, the
the
player,
players.
the four majors, the players, the Arnold Palmer. I always thought the week before the Masters was a good tournament because it gets it's like a winning get in for a lot
Yeah.
That's always a good one. The Travelers is always a good one. The John
Jack's
Deere Classic,
Jack's Jack's tournament, the Memorial is a big
Jack's tournament, the Memorial, and I mean, other than that, I don't really follow.
right. I mean, there's some other ones. Like I think Riviera's, and when they go to the
But
Riviera,
Riviera is good too because that's early. Yeah, Torrey Pines, Pebble, all that stuff. Yeah,
Torrey
I
Pines
like
is just
watching
fun
it.
to see. Torrey Pines, Pebble's just fun to see. It's just fun to see the
Yeah,
courses on TV, whatever.
it's nice to see
Uh,
Jack Nicholson sitting in the same chair. I mean, Clint Eastwood. Sorry.
yeah, Eastwood. Jack Nicholson. Don't even know where Jack Nicholson is at this
Well,
point.
he's probably crying in a corner because his Lakers are trash.
Yeah, he doesn't go to the games anymore.
That's what I mean.
But yeah. Anyway, so that was the big news of Thursday. LIV announces the TV deal again. I thought the press release was all quotes, and they didn't give a ton of information. So we don't know what the money is. We don't know how many. It says multi-year, but we don't really know what that means. So it was interesting. It's going to be fun to watch and see how they do and what the numbers are, because now you'll have access to all the numbers, and there will certainly be people tracking them. I can assure you of that. Somebody joked about LIV being on the CW, that it'll be a good lead into like Judge Judy and all the courtroom TV shows that they have on there. Given that they're all
Or
in court anyway.
like Supergirl or whatever the hell's on there.
Yeah, you have Arrow. You have Arrow. You have
Arrow.
the
That's
Flash.
Arrow. Yeah.
You have the Flash, and you have LIV Golf.
Did you see what Barstool's doing today? The foreplay guys
They're playing in the LPGA tournament.
and the LPGA event.
Yeah.
They're going four rounds, one golfer per round to see how they stack up. That's insane.
Yeah, they're playing. The purse is like 100K too. They're playing for money.
I know. I guess Riggs is up, and I guess
Riggs is
he
up
got
today.
he got 9 points on the front. So that's tied for 20th, which is
then
pretty sick.
John Smoltz is playing. They had him on the.
I think he's playing with Fitzgerald, isn't he?
Larry
Fitzgerald, I think.
So, I saw that, and that's of course the LPGA. What a disaster that is! With them not having lockers.
I saw that. Yeah.
You see this at Lake Nona?
Yeah.
Yikes! Like the first term of the year, they can't get it.
What a great start.
Yeah. So that was a shit show. I guess they had lockers brought in, and they have like a makeshift like locker room, but
like the dressing room at the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
Drink.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was disastrous. But the LPGA is making some news. Nelly Korda signs with Nike and TaylorMade. TaylorMade just signed a girl. So they're becoming brands a little bit, and Yeah, it should be interesting to see how the Barstool guys do and all the other amateurs as well. I know Frankie was very nervous. Trent was also very nervous. So,
Yeah.
but good for them. We'll get to that point eventually, hopefully.
Oh, here's the actual trailer instead of the gameplay trailer.
Oh, the
It
trailer
looks.
for EA Sports game. EA
I'm
Sports
telling you,
trailer's
man,
out tonight.
it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. So,
Huh.
so that's the we started the day with pro golf stuff because that was the big news. The other story, of course, this week comes from the Korn Ferry Tour and Davis Chatfield. Look, no one said it was going to be easy. Clearly, it wasn't. Clearly, it was not easy. But he did finish the tournament. He made the cut, which is a plus. And as somebody posted on our Facebook page, hey, you got a paycheck, so that's pretty good. So yeah, he got a paycheck. Just over $4,000 for finishing in 53rd. So that's not bad. I mean, he's gonna use it.
It wasn't all for nothing, right?
Yeah, he spent it on his travel from the Bahamas to Panama, but nonetheless.
Oh, so another thing, I don't mean to plug Foreplay again, but so they have a Barstool branded guy named
Yeah,
Alistair, and
Alistair Doherty, right?
you should have heard. Did you listen to their pod from
Yeah,
Tuesday?
and I know
Yo,
Alistair Doherty. Yeah.
and it's so funny because all I did when I was listening to this podcast, all I did was think of you when they were ripping the website for the Korn Ferry Tour.
Oh, it's terrible. I agree. I said the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
this is
I'm right
Joe
with
to
them.
a T.
Oh, it's
I've
terrible.
heard him complain like this every time, and I'm just laughing as they're just shitting all over this website.
Oh, it's terrible. They have the wrong scores. They change scores on you.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
awful
exactly
to
what they said.
follow.
He's like, oh, at one point he
No,
was like
they're,
3 under, and then he was like 3 over. Like, what the hell's going on?
right. No, they were absolutely correct. I was going to say the same thing on this show. I was going to say, by the way, the Korn Ferry Tour live scoring is absolutely terrible.
When they started talking about that, I was
awful.
dying. I was like, Joe said this for 2-3 years right already.
It was awful. The rounds take forever. So I don't know if the rounds just generally take forever or if it's just the app, but the rounds seem like they go on forever. The scores, they change the scores constantly because they're not putting in the right scores or someone's not putting in the right scores or I don't even know what they're doing. And it's just terrible. It's impossible to track. So we were going to launch a Davis Chatfield tracker on Twitter, and I'm glad that we didn't because
you just can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't do it.
We'd be sitting there for like 7 hours trying to figure out like what like.
We'll have updates for you at 1 a.m.
Yeah, it was like brutal. So, and as many times as you refresh, nothing actually changes. So like the perfect example, I was waiting to see if he made. So this would have been. It's so confusing because the tournament started on Sunday. So this would have been Monday. The cut was after Monday. So I'm waiting to see if he made the cut. And now I think he was going to make it because the cut was projected at +1. Davis was -1. So I don't think the cut was going to move those 2 shots, but you never know. So I'm going to sit around all day waiting to see if he made the cut because I don't want to get the friggin' story wrong because that'd be embarrassing.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm like sitting there like all day. He's been done for like 2 hours. And then I finally
and you don't even know.
And finally at like 6 o'clock, I just said, "Screw it." He's gonna have made the cut. The cut's not gonna move 2 shots or 3 shots, really.
No, it shouldn't. No,
but it was still like that nervousness that you don't want to screw the story up. Like you want to make sure, like
yeah, of course.
So it was like finally at 6 o'clock before we left to go watch the Brady lose. I finally said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm just putting the story up. He's inside the cut line. The cut's not gonna move."
Who said it? We have video evidence of who called that loss, by the way.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah, well, good for you.
But in hindsight, like I told you in off air, I did stay up to watch the whole thing just in case something happened.
Yeah, nothing was going to come back. It was just about watching him potentially run off the field for the last time. But good trivia question out of it. Who was Brady's last touchdown pass to? The answer is
Schultz. Not Schultz. Jesus, Schultz had a lot of touchdowns that night.
Cameron
Brate. Yeah.
So keep that in mind for your trivia, sports trivia.
Did Dalton Schultz not look like Gronk that night? He was like unstoppable.
Yeah.
The tight end for Dallas. Holy crap. Like he was like a little baby Gronk. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How about Gronk calling out Aaron Rodgers? That was funny.
Uh-huh.
With the MVP.
And then how about him? How about him pledging his allegiance to Buffalo? Did you see that?
No, but I know he's from Buffalo. He's from there.
Yeah, he has like allegiance to Buffalo and just basically shit all over the Patriots.
Yeah, I heard
Which
that.
is fine. I wouldn't be a fan. I wouldn't be a fan of the Patriots either. It's like,
Yeah.
I
heard the shitting all over the Patriots part. But yeah, so we're kind of been all over the place, but that's okay. It's freaking January, so but just if I can I just to wrap up the Davis Chatfield thing. So he did make the cut. Obviously, got a paycheck just over $4,000. Looked at it today, and look, no one said it was going to be easy. It's not easy. Clearly, he actually played well. The third round killed him. He had 2 doubles and a triple. That's not ideal. And the par fives, I don't know if you looked into it. The par fives, they were like 600 plus yards.
Whew.
The 18th hole was the 18th hole was a par 5. It played 637 yards. Like it was insane. It was crazy.
It's a lot.
Par
That's
fives
a lot
were
for
like real
the
par
PGA
fives. Yeah.
Same for the PGA guys, let alone guys that are just starting their professional careers.
So yeah, the course seemed like it played. I don't know if the course played hard or not. But his third round killed him, but then he bounced back with a good final round, and he's got 7 tournaments left to play well. So 1 bad tournament or 2 bad tournaments, not necessarily the end of the world. Obviously, I'm sure he wants to play better, obviously, but it's not the end of the world. He has 7 tournaments left, and it's interesting. I'm actually reading Bob Harrig's book about Tiger and Phil, finally getting around to reading again a little bit. And Harry talks about Tiger, and I'm not comparing Davis Chatfield to Tiger, obviously. We understand that, but it's similar situations. And he talks about how when Tiger first came on tour in 1996, hello world, right? Tiger only had 7 sponsors exemptions into tournaments. And if he didn't play well, he had to get fully exempt, he had to win 1, which obviously he ended up winning 2 later on, or get inside the top 125 on the money list, which Tiger estimated at the time to be $170,000 was the top 125 on the money list, which doesn't seem like a lot of money today. Or you have to go through Q school. So it was funny. I was reading this and I was kind of drawing some comparisons to Davis's situation. Again, we're not comparing Davis to Tiger. We get it. But Tiger finished his first tournament as a pro. He finished like in 60-something place, and he won less than $3,000. And he was looking at it like, oh my God, I have to like really do something to get my exemption on the PGA Tour. I just go to Q school. And so Bob talks about how, he finally kind of worked his way up. He started getting some top 5 finishes. The money list, he was going to probably get on the money list because he was already making some money. Then he finally won. That got him a 2-year exemption, and obviously he's never looked back. So the point is, there's a long way to go. He has 7 tournaments left. He's still in the Bahamas for this weekend. Then he goes to Panama, and then he goes, I think, back to the States and then to Chile, something along those lines. We published the schedule on GolfNewsRI.com. So anyway, my point of the whole story was there's a long way to go. 7 tournaments left, plenty of time to make up ground. And I'm sure, there's an adjustment. I'm sure he was nervous. I'm sure there was new things that he had to figure out. The greens, I'm sure, were not slow. So that's the Davis Chatfield wrap. PT's up on Sunday, still in the Bahamas. And again, the point is, long way to go. And, it's good for him to get that first one under the belt. And we'll see what he does going forward. But it was certainly cool to see his name on the board and see him playing on the Korn Ferry Tour with some of the notable guys like Camilo Villegas and Sean O'Hare, and these guys are also grinding on the Korn Ferry Tour. Sean O'Hare actually missed the cut for whatever that's worth.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
So lots of guys still grinding on the Korn Ferry Tour, but that's my Davis Chatfield take just to wrap up his week. I don't know if you had any thoughts on it. Or you didn't follow it that closely.
I didn't really follow it because I was working those days. So
yeah, if you're trying to follow the live scoring on Korn Ferry Tour, don't even bother. I'll just tell you what he shot. I'll just tell you what he shot when the thing is over because it's really kind of pointless.
you're looking for the scores, don't.
They're probably not right anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that's where we are with all of that. And let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. Maybe we'll dive into some PGA Tour stuff as their season's underway. Nothing too exciting, obviously, is happening, but they did drop a new video game trailer today, and so we'll get into some of that. This is the Golf Dudes Podcast. We'll be right back. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf Dudes Podcast, presented by Link Strengths on the GolfNewsRI Podcast Network, and also the audio versions of the podcast streaming on Apple and Spotify. So check those out. Jeff texted me this morning. He said the Golf Dudes Podcast is ranked number 134 on Apple. I said, well, I won't be advertising that for sure.
Say it.
But if you think about it, there's probably hundreds of podcasts on Apple. So I guess I don't know. Either way, I haven't looked that much into it. Anyways, new PGA Tour game dropped today from EA Sports. I'm fascinated by the battle between EA Sports and 2K. So the trailer dropped today. The game comes out March 24th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. You watched the trailer. I watched a bunch of clips of it. It seems like Jordan Spieth is going to be the cover athlete. That's at least what they're implying. The Masters is in it. Bandon Dunes is in it, which is kind of cool. And obviously a number of other courses as well. Your thoughts on the trailer, because you were intrigued by it.
Yeah, so it looks amazing because we have $500 to $1,000 consoles that run 4K and all that garbage. It looks great. The swing mechanics look good. What I took away from it was that they're going to bring back some of the old school EA Sports PGA mechanics, meaning the power boost. They said they're going to bring that back, and they're going to bring back the heartbeat when you hit a close shot, which was awesome. You had the heartbeat going.
The heartbeat was when you were putting for eagle.
Yeah, or you get a hole in one, or you hit an approach shot inside like a foot or something like that. The controller used to vibrate. The heartbeat would come out of the thing. I missed that a lot. And what was the third thing they were going to bring back? I can't remember. I'll have to rewatch it.
The ball bounces all over. The ball acts like a ball.
Oh, yep. It said, what did it say? It said that at Augusta, the fairways are smoother at Augusta, so the ball's going to behave differently than at other places. So 2K is good. It's the almost the same installment over the past couple of years. It's better, but 2K is like a simulation. It's an actual simulation. This one, EA's always been like more of a recreational type of thing. But EA seems to be stepping up their realism a little bit with the swing planes and all that stuff like 2K has. So I'm going to buy it, obviously. Number one, because it's going to have the Masters in it. I mean, you can have the Masters in 2K, but somebody has to build it, obviously. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for when it comes out. I'm probably pre-order it right now, actually, so I can get it on the day it comes out. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited they haven't put out a golf game since the Rory McIlroy one, and I don't even remember when that came out. That was like mid 2000s or something like that. So definitely looking forward to having something new to play.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Again, I'm interested in the kind of the rivalry, if you will, between EA Sports and 2K, because EA has always been the sports brand. Now 2K is relatively new-ish, right? Would you say they're relatively new?
Well, they're relative, yeah, relative. I mean, not even
relatively
really. I
new.
think he's older, but I mean, 2K was around in like the early 2000s
Yeah.
because they had like when they had the NHL games, they had like NHL 2K
Oh, yeah, you're right.
3 or something like
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, they dominate basketball. 2K absolutely dominates basketball. EA doesn't really do NBA Live anymore, so that's their staple. Right now, they're obviously dominating golf because they're the only dog in the fight. But yeah, it's good to see EA come back to golf. Like obviously they're known for NHL, FIFA, and Madden, so it's good. It's good to see that they're doing a little bit different, you know.
Yeah, it's their, like you said, it's their first golf game since the Roy McIlroy game. I think that was in like 2013,
I'm gonna
14 or something.
I'm gonna actually look that up.
It did terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. It's still on because I have a Game Pass for Xbox and it includes EA Pass, so that game's on there. I might actually download it and fire it up and see how bad. I don't remember how bad it was, so
I didn't think I even played it.
I had it. I bought it at the time. EA PGA. I want to know what year that came out. It's been a long time.
It's been a while, but I think it was like 24. I don't think it was as far back as you think. Because it was after Tiger's scandal, because they took Tiger off the cover. So it had to be at least 2010.
Right? Yeah, I think it was after that.
Well, definitely because after Tiger went through all of his shit, because they took him off the cover. And that's why the game bombed. Because McIlroy, who cares? So it has to be after the 2010, 2011, 12, 14. One of those years. It feels like somewhere in there.
I don't know why this isn't coming up. I don't know. Whatever. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I think it was definitely between like 2010 and 2015, give or take. I can't even type. Jesus. It says July 14th, but it's not July 14th.
I found the game, but I can't find the year.
It says July 14th, so but I don't have a 2015.
2015. That was close.
Yeah, I knew it was after 2000, way after 2010, but oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, 2015. Initial release date, July 14th, 20, like you said. Okay. All right, I was close. But yeah, so it would be interesting to see what EA Sports does and how they compete. So that's what I'm interested in. And just compare and contrast the games. It'll also be interesting to compare and contrast the rosters for each game, the player rosters and kind of the creative player type of thing. If they're still doing that, I'm assuming they are. Tony Finau is in EA, Jordan Spieth is in EA, but 2K has Tiger and JT and various others. So it'll be interesting. I remember the old EA Sports games used to have like the legends of the game, like you can play Jack Nicklaus and
Payne Stewart
and like Payne Stewart, like The real question is which video game is going to have the balls to put LIV in it. When is the LIV Golf video game coming? That's what I want to know.
It's probably going to be 2K. It's probably going to be 2K just because they, you can create stuff and upload stuff,
True, yeah.
I don't think EA wouldn't touch that.
No. Somebody probably create LIV Golf on EA on the 2K. I bet if you look hard enough, I bet you somebody's created something like that somewhere. You probably just upload the logos and do the whole thing. I bet.
Right.
Like in the WWE games, I see people like creating like AEW,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff.
You can do like the AEW
Yeah.
like promotions around the ring and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure someone's probably already done it or doing it if they haven't done it already. So that'll be interesting. Again, we're not a ton into the video game space, or at least I'm not, but I do think that kind of stuff is fascinating to follow. You're interested in this LPGA Tour Pro-Am this week. I know we talked about the foreplay guys in it and a bunch of other AMs like John Smoltz. I think there's a couple.
I'll go
Red
right
Sox
down the
players.
list.
So
Annika?
you have the list. You're interested in this. It will
Yeah,
be
I
entertaining to
can't
watch.
believe it.
So go ahead. Then we'll wrap up the show.
Annika, Marty Fish, Brian McCann, Mark Mulder, two old baseball players. Tom Glavine, Brian Urlacher, Blair O'Neill. She used to be on the Big Break on Golf Channel. Joe Carter, Blue Jays walk-off home run, 92. John Smoltz, Jeremy Roenick, Sterling Sharp, Michael Pena, the actor. He's actually a scratch golfer.
So it's Smoltz. Smoltz is a scratch golfer too.
Yep. Derek Lowe, Tuukka Rask, Adam Thielen, John Lester. I mean, this thing's crazy. Alfonso Ribeiro, Carlton from the Fresh Prince. He's a scratch golfer too. Brian Baumgartner from The Office. Michael Waltrip, Kevin Millar from the Red Sox. It's crazy. And then Barstool foreplay, they got 20 points right now. I see that. Roger Clemens, Charles Woodson, Josh Donaldson, Taylor Twellman, Maurice Allen, the long drive guy, Shane Victorino, Josh Beckett, Dwight Freeney, Greg Maddux, Larry Fitzgerald, Larry the Cable Guy. This is crazy. I hope this is on TV on the weekend. Victor Cruz, the old Giants wide receiver.
Yep.
Vince Carter, Clay Buchholz, AJ Przinsky. This is great. This is awesome.
It's like a who's who of athletes.
Marcus Allen, like this is great. I really, really, really hope they get some airtime this weekend because I'm gonna watch it.
And not to mention the LPGA Tour people, right? Nelly Cordes.
Yeah, so that's the celebrity leaderboard. The celebrity leaderboard and the regular leaderboard is. Come on. Brooke Henderson's up by 2. She's 5 under.
She's the one that just signed with TaylorMade, right? Brooke Henderson just signed with. I couldn't think of the other girl that signed with TaylorMade.
I think so. I think she did.
Nelly Cordes. I think Brooke Henderson's the other one.
Yeah. So yeah, she's in the lead by 2. Yeah. So.
Yeah, could be a fun watch for on the LPGA Tour event with like you said, with all the celebrities in. I mean, it's not like a whole like Red Sox reunion.
Yeah, right.
Millar, Lester.
I want to.
Like,
have you listened to the episodes of Foreplay with Alfonso Ribeiro on it? How big of a nutcase he is, like with like his swing and everything like that in the game of golf. Like he's like uber obsessed with it, and he takes it down to like the swing degree of his backswing. Oh, it's nuts! It's absolutely crazy.
Sounds crazy. Yeah, some people are obsessed with that stuff. Anyway, so of course the PGA Tour is at action this week. The American Express, not that exciting. John Rahm will probably win. It feels like
Colin Morikawa is going to choke.
And then next week they go to Torrey Pines. Remember, it's a Saturday finish at Torrey Pines. They're doing a Saturday finish at Torrey Pines again to get out of the way of football for the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
They did this last year. And I guess they said it was a big hit, I guess, because they're doing it again. So just keep that in mind. So next week when we come on, we'll actually be in the middle of the second round of the Torrey Pines tournament. So anyway, just something to keep in mind. So anyway, that's all we got. We're going to get out of here. We got things going on. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope
Bruins Rangers tonight.
Bruins Rangers tonight. Celtics Warriors.
Celtics Warriors.
It's a big night. Also, I mean, for people that follow college basketball as well. I know no one will be watching that, but
how about UConn getting beat again?
I know.
They went from what, 3 to 14 now, or 15?
2 to 14. 2
to 14. Yeah, and they're gonna go lower.
2 to
now.
15. No, they're 15. 2 to 15.
Oh, they're 15.
And then they can't win a game. You had DePaul beating Xavier last night. So despite PC's loss, we're still only 1 game out of first.
Yeah.
So all right. Nothing better than college basketball. There's a long way to go.
Creighton looks like a problem though.
Who? Creighton?
Yeah.
Yeah. They all look like problems when you lose to them.
Yeah.
Xavier looked like a problem, and they lost it to Paul last night. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, all right.
Come back to the herd.
So all these teams look good until they don't. UConn was projected to go undefeated and win the national championship. Now they're like an NCAA tournament bubble team.
Imagine that.
So
imagine that 2 to a bubble team.
It changes quickly. So it's good to be PC 6-2. There's still a game out of first. So with 2 games against Xavier coming up, they have 2 games at home coming up. DePaul on Saturday and then Butler on Wednesday night. Win both of those, they're 8-2, and then see where you stack up. So long way to go. Lots of big games coming up. So will certainly be exciting. And I'm a huge college basketball fan, so I still get into it. But anyway,
you got me into it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to get you to a game one day. Then you'll really be into it because it's electric. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Golf Dudes podcast. We hope you all have a great weekend. Save us Chatfield on Sunday. Tee times are not out yet for that tournament, of course, but we'll have full coverage as best we can on the fine Korn Ferry Tour live scoring. Good luck if you're trying to follow it yourself. And then other than that, hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for following us on the site, on the streaming services, and everything else. So thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.